Welcome in everybody to Bedford High School as we get ready for Division I lacrosse action. Boys side, we just completed the girls game, which finished in a 9-6 Bishop Guertin win. And now we're getting ready for the boys teams to take action here in the next 2 minutes. Corey Munster Tiger here, joined by Roger Howe. Appreciate you joining me for this game this afternoon, sir.
My pleasure. Glad I'm here.
We're excited to see the rematch of this game as the two teams here tonight faced off on Tuesday evening with a Bishop Guertin win. And we'll see what kinds of adjustments have been made. Roger, any tips or keys from that game from Tuesday night?
Yeah, one of the first things is throughout NHIAA this year, we have seen a much closer contested game the second time around. Throughout NHIAA this year, most teams are playing a home-at-home series. And like you just said, the adjustments that these coaches can make has certainly held out in the second game. Bedford, like I said to you earlier, they just need to play mistake-free. They really cannot afford to play transition lacrosse in between the boxes. And when they go to clear the ball, they need to find men early, understand where that next guy open is going to be because BG is going to double up the ball and they're going to cover up the closest guys. So that's one of the big things that they need to clean up. Penalties. The Bulldogs had 4 penalties the other night. Dawson Clark from BG scored twice on those EMOs, and you cannot afford to put yourself in the box against this team. As far as BG is concerned, there are no keys to the game with these guys. Their roster is deep. They're athletic, and they just wear teams out, and they do what they do. It's pretty easy. So we'll see what happens here tonight, and I hope Coach Joe Hansmeyer has noticed those corrections and got them good.
So we will join you shortly. The national anthem, introductions of the starting lineups will happen just shortly here. We'll rejoin you in about 2 to 3 minutes for the action for the game. We're really excited about this rematch here on this beautiful Thursday evening, and we'll be right back.
Life is good. You'd say the same.
I have the camera like on.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bedford High School for today's boys Division I Varsity Lacrosse game between the Cardinals of Nashville Division High School and the Bulldogs of Bedford High School. We remind you that coach, players, and officials are permitted on the turf and track area. Bedford High School wholeheartedly supports the NHIAA policy on good sportsmanship. Cheerleaders are allowed and encouraged, but please be positive, cheer, respect, and athletes today. A reminder to all fans in attendance, masks are no longer required, but highly encouraged to be worn. Families should keep 3 feet of social distance between other families and spectators. Now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the Cardinals of Bishop Guertin High School. Starting attack, a senior, number 2, Declan Wilkie. Starting midfield, a senior captain, number 3, Michael Kiley. Starting attack, a senior captain, number 6, Dawson Clark. Starting goal, a senior, number 8, Phil Stewart. Starting midfield, a senior captain, number 9, Nick McGovern. Starting midfield, a senior, number 11, Chris Heitmiller. Starting long step midi, a senior captain, number 12, John Sullivan. Starting defense, a senior captain, number 17, Matthew Granny. And starting attack for Bishop Guertin, a senior, number 22, John Gregorian. Mr. Guertin's head coach is Chris Cameron. Now let's meet the starting lineups for the Bedford High School Bulldogs. Starting attack, a junior, number 4, Derek Greer. Starting defense, a junior, number 8, Parker Henderson. Starting face-off, a senior, number 9, Owen Lillo. Starting attack, a junior, number 11, Evan Schmidt. Starting midfield, a junior, number 12, Joseph Michael. Starting long stick midi, a senior captain, number 26, William Enners. Starting defense, a senior captain, number 27, Quinlan Kerr. Starting the goal, a junior, number 30, Matthew Desmond. Starting attack, a senior, number 31, Shay Locantoni. And starting defense for Bedford, a senior, number 38, Ryan Ashburner. The head coach for Bedford is Matt Johannesburg, assisted by Matt Howe and John Roth. Tonight's officials are Paul Landry and Bill Ball. Ladies and gentlemen, we're asking you now to stand as we honor America for playing our flag.
Welcome back, everybody, for tonight's lacrosse action as the Bulldogs host the visiting Cardinals from Bishop Guertin. Again, I'm Corey Munster Tiger, joined here in the booth by Roger Howe. We are set for face-off. A couple of interesting updates to the normal starting lineups as Roger and I noticed that Connor Arbusto was not announced, and we have since discovered him on the sideline on crutches. So one of their senior attackers, I'm not quite sure when the injury happened, but one of their senior leaders and attackmen is unavailable for this game.
Yeah, he was pretty well shut down the other night by BG. I think he only had one shot on goal. But more to the point, I don't recall seeing him get hurt either. I know the starters played pretty much until the end. Shea Lucantoni did see some time in the game. But we certainly feel that on the field if Connor can't make it back, at least by playoff time.
And for the Cardinals, an update from Tuesday's starting lineup. Senior attack Dawson Clark was announced in the starting lineup. You mentioned that he was only in for extra man offense type situations, but he will get the nod this evening and will come out. Actually, I stand corrected as Brady Dumont, you mentioned, came on and played in instead of Clark.
Yeah, I wonder why that changed. I wonder why that changed. But Brady Dumont had 6 goals last night coming off the bench, so
not a bad output. So 12 minutes are on the board.
Not for a freshman.
And Roberto will head to the face-off circle against Sebastian Zeman. I'm sorry, that's Murphy, James Murphy. Murphy comes away with that quickly and presses into the offensive end.
Yeah, Murphy's just he's a horse out there. He just does not stop. He dominates the faceoff circle and dominates everyone in the state right now.
So Murphy gains possession for the Cardinals, and they get into their offense. Up top now for McGovern. McGovern goes to the right. Quick feed from behind.
Good defense here.
Krikorian matched up against Kerr. Now to the wide side to Heitmiller. Heitmiller goes lefty, shot high.
Good take.
Too high.
Yeah, Joe Michael, he was really tested the other night on defense, but he was the only one that was getting really good bumps on his offensive partner. Tough guy out there.
Kiley there, checked by Enners. They get it across to Heitmiller now. Defended there by Joe Michael, as you mentioned earlier. Now to McGovern. McGovern goes to his right. Backside.
Nice play.
Creeping in on the back doorstep, he finds John Krikorian. And that was an excellent little sneak by Krikorian and great awareness by McGovern to see him sneaking in on the back door.
Yeah, Krikorian, he has had some very spectacular goals in the Exeter game a week or so ago. And again, last night he had one sweeping around the back from X. Sneaky attackman. You can't take your eyes off him.
So back to the face-off circle. Murphy comes away with that. 2 for 2 for Murphy, and he gets it quickly into the offensive end. Dumont now behind. Finds Wilkie. They make their substitutions through the box.
Yeah, John Sullivan coming off to the center, their LSM. He will stay out there, and he will play offense.
Sure, why not? You have
let
the
him.
stick skills. You have the skill to be out there. You can move it around, find the open guy, be a threat on offense. Sure, why not?
Yeah, he had 2 goals against Exeter.
So back up top now to Connor Giebord.
Good bump.
Giebord drives righty. Defender falls down, gets back to his left, but he's wide right. And Andrew McGee had fallen as he was playing defense there. Now behind. Declan Wilkie will step it in from the end line. Up top now.
Good coverage.
Now across to Connor Bouvier. Gets to his left. Rips.
Nice.
Hits the defender in the head as Henrishon was right in the way, and that doesn't tickle, I'll tell you that.
Good slide, though, Corey. We had a good first slide and second slide.
Sure was. He came off quickly. Now Tim Kiley. He's hammered on by Enners.
Good job.
Making him feel him, making sure he feels his presence. Now Ashburner guards Wilkie. Back up top. Bouvier gets to his left. Shot is wide right. Backed up by the Cardinals.
Yeah, Bouvier got just a little bit of a step on Joe there and let him get his hands extended.
And back up top now. Giebord. Over to Kiley. Kiley looks to go one-on-one. Rolls back. Looks near side. Pass off the stick of Bouvier. But he's able to corral that ground ball, and it gets it back to Giebord. Giebord to his left. Rolls away from pressure. Good defense there by McGee. Just keeping him in check. Now up top, near side. Dumont behind. Patient offense here for the Cardinals. They find a cutter backside. Wilkie, he can't finish.
There we go.
And Henrishon picks up that loose ball.
This is what's critical right here for the Bulldogs.
Gets it to Kerr. Ride is challenging. He rolls back into 2 people. Great face dodge. Yeah. Finds Joe Michael cutting in the midfield, and they're up and out.
This is what Bishop Guertin does so well. There were 3 guys riding on that defender there.
Michael, his pass is batted, but there are 2 Bulldogs there, and Will Kramer comes away with that ground ball. So look to have the Bulldogs have a nice, patient offense. They're going to set up, give their defense a rest. Magnus Steele drives righty. He gets back to his left hand.
Push.
Pushed into the crease.
That's a push.
Does not get
wow.
called as John Sullivan was there on the defense. He fires it near side to Nick Dahl. Dahl sprints over the line, gets it back up to Brady Dumont. Dumont behind. Now far side. A substitution through the midfield.
This is one other thing the other night that Bedford did not do well was get back on defense after a turnover. They did it very well there. Got 6 guys back quickly.
And they got their long stick midfielder out there as Nick Hadley is on the defensive end. Near side, Dumont, and he finishes. Lefty snipe from this near side, and the Cardinals go up 2-0.
Yeah, good pass from Mike Kiley across the box, and you can't leave this guy Dumont alone. He is a sniper. Nice 5-hole goal by him on the ground.
Agreed. That pass from the far side all the way across, although you might not expect it to get through every single time, certainly found Dumont open near side, and he was able to cash in with that lefty low liner. Murphy again comes away with the quick face-off.
He is a machine.
Up quick to Krikorian. Roberto gets off, and they are able to substitute Beaton onto the field as a short stick midfielder. Playing defense. And Rashawn guarding Dumont. It's back up top. Kiley back to McGovern. McGovern gets to his right hand. Behind.
Here we go.
Pass mishandled, and that does go out of bounds. As it was offside for Krikorian, he couldn't quite catch up to that.
Let's see if Bedford can spread this out a little bit and make it more difficult for the BG Ride to cover them.
Desmond now back to Kerr, far side.
There you go.
Kerr all the way
There you
across
go.
finds Max Maniello. He steps it into the box and will settle.
The way BG rides, Corey, that's literally the only success you're going to see on a
Mental
clear.
mistake here, though, as it looks like the Bulldogs were off sides. Back quick, transition opportunity. Excellent step around by Declan Wilkie, and he cashes on the doorstep. Wilkie makes the Bulldogs pay for that mental mistake in the midfield. 3-0, 6:10 left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that happened twice the other night. 2 just mental mistakes, like you said, blatant offsides, and you just got to know where you're at on the field. You just have to.
Sure do.
They got the ball back nice and clean there, and negates the offensive opportunity.
Usually on that change of possession, you're going to find that midfielder far and away from the box, as Kerr did, and then again, just weren't quite running the box as quick, or substitution box as cleanly as they could. Murphy with another face-off win, so he has done well at that face-off circle, giving the ball back to the Cardinals. And now we have Kiley up top. Rolls back to his right. Finds Wilkie.
Now this number 16 here, Tim Kiley. He's younger brother of Mike Kiley, one of the captains.
Dump inside. Shot will not go.
I like
That's
that turn, Corey. What
Little
about you?
over the top by Krikorian.
Yeah.
Bouvier now gets to his left.
Oh, sees
Finds in the middle. Mishandled there in a crowd of Bedford Bulldog defenders.
Come on, boys.
But Kerr comes
There we
away
go.
with that ground ball.
Finds
Dogged pursuit. He looks for Greer. No good. And Greer chases it out, but it does go over the end line. So back to the Cardinals, and they will clear far side. All the way across near side to Nick Dahl. Dahl chased down by Luke and Tony. His pass is a little too high. Henryshawn can't get the ground ball, but Enners does briefly, and now gets more control of it.
There we go.
Kerr out of pressure.
You can see the BG defenders getting right back there, and Bedford not getting any help from the attack. They retreat and they don't come up to help, and this is what hurt them the other night.
Little scoop shovel pass there by Kerr to Will Kramer. And they finally are able to settle in the offensive end.
Yeah, the attackers just got to become more part of the clear here for them.
Greer and Schmidt need to come up,
Yeah.
give a little help. Luke and Tony.
Nothing wrong with V cutting up to the top of the box and trying to shake your coverage rider loose. Help the team out.
Kramer trying to get high side, backs down.
Nice look.
Offside, finds Schmidt, hits the crossbar, won't
Jeez.
go. Little help from his friend there has the goalie. As Dylan Stewart didn't see that cleanly. It gets by him, hits the pipe, but still does not go. And on the other
Nice
end,
save.
Desmond comes up with a save. Went down for that ground bounce shot. Comes away with a clean save.
Desmond, although he gave up 16 goals the other night, he had 12 saves too. He was hot in the first quarter, especially.
Magnus Steele with a nice little stop and start. Gets away from pressure, but that last little check by Kylie gets the ball on the ground. Now Steele chases down John Sullivan. Sullivan looks to the middle and
Another
saved
save.
by Desmond. Wilkie can't come up with that as he had time and space from 10 yards, but Desmond comes up with a great save.
Huge save. Huge save.
Kerr now fires it up to the midfield and finds Maniello.
All right, we need a good offensive possession here.
Yeah, settle it, right?
Exactly.
Toscano.
Nothing wrong with ragging the ball here with under 3 minutes left in the quarter.
Toscano looks to go now. He's guarded by Nathan Kane. He takes it behind.
I like this set with Bedford, bringing
little
4
ISO.
guys in.
Up to Maniello. Across now to Luke and Tony. Gets time and space. His bounce shot is high. Excellent hustle by Colin Rourke. Beat the Bedford players to that end line. And he's able to get the backup and possession for Bishop Guertin.
Yeah, I wonder why there wasn't a quick whistle there, Corey.
A slight delay as a ball had come back onto the field. So
Okay.
Rourke had picked up another ball and a loose ball was on the field. So
Gotcha.
for the abundance of safety, referee delayed the start. And the Cardinals have no problem with that clear. Wilkie now takes his time up top to Kylie. Now to Bouvier. Kylie to his right. Behind. And he comes around strong as Krikorian stepped around to his left side and beat Desmond to the near post. Extends the lead out to 4-0 on Krikorian's second goal of the game.
Yeah, he's made a living this season off of that same approach from behind the goal. The defense shifts over and just exposes that open player, and the attackman can just stroll right in there.
A tough play for the defender, right? As you want to either make a commitment to get all the way behind, or you're going to need some help from your goalie as Murphy wins his, fourth, fifth face-off?
That'll be his fifth.
Fifth. Unchallenged so far at the midfield stripe.
What do you think you do there, Corey, on defense? Do you go cross crease or look for that second slide? A little more talk?
If you get hung topside, as we look backside here, you get hung topside, you're going to need your goalie to step out one side of the cage, and you step out as a defender to the other side of the cage.
Right.
And you're trying to get a defender back into the hands, in that case, of Krikorian. And that's a tough thing to do. You have to coordinate with your goalie.
Exactly.
And you both have to be pretty athletic to make sure that that doesn't turn into a wraparound goal. Maniello now far side. He steps into the box.
BG did a very good job of covering Max the other night. They keyed on him. They knew he was going to shoot. And the slides came quickly against him. Didn't have a overall great night by his standards. 1 goal and 2 assists. But we'll see here. Good long slide here for BG. There it is.
And there you go, Maniello.
Exactly.
As you talk about him.
Exactly.
And I was noticing that their long stick, Nick Goslin, was matched up on Magnus Steele, so leaving Maniello on the short stick defender, and he takes advantage as he brings the Bulldogs back to the board.
Yeah. That's
4-1, 45 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Max sometimes gets into some habits of shooting 15, 20 yards out because I think he gets a little frustrated. But that was just perfect. If he can do more of that and beat his defender, and that slide showed up very late, if it showed up at all, as far as I'm concerned. But that was a great play by him.
Tough slide, as you mentioned, and it was a tough angle too, but Maniello came away with it. Now Roberto takes advantage of Murphy, who had the ball pop out of his stick. Round ball now batted around.
Good swarm here.
And they whack
Finally.
Sullivan as he came
Good
up with
job.
it. But now enters presses.
You don't want to lose possession here. 25 seconds.
So they'll look for the last shot. 20 seconds to go. Maniello has it in his stick. Matched up on a short stick defender. But they do switch. So Sullivan has Maniello.
Try the other side here, right?
No, he goes back to his right hand.
Again.
Right shot. Can't quite get it to go. 5 seconds remaining. Greer backs it up. They'll look for a pick in the middle. Maybe a drive hard. Greer looks. Lefty. Needs a pass in there, and they're just going to run it out. And the score will be 4-1 after the first quarter. The Bishop Guertin Cardinals lead the Bulldogs.
Well, kind of like what happened 2 nights ago. 4-2 in that game, 4-1 here. Bedford's playing a little bit better in spite of that score.
Yeah, they did come up with a few defensive possessions to slow down the Bishop Guertin high-powered offense. And in this case, the second half of that first quarter was a much more competitive situation.
Mm-hmm.
A few quick goals, 2 by Krikorian, 1 by Wilkie, and 1 by Dumont, lead the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, while Max Maniello, as we saw, had that last offensive output there for the Bulldogs. So it is 4-1. We'll put another 12 minutes on the clock and see what happens as we move forward.
So I like calling games with you because we're both defenders by trade, have been playing a long time. And in my book here, and this is the first time I've seen this happen, I believe, with BG, the 4 goals were all by attackmen. And to me, I've seen some good slides out there by Bedford's defense. What do you do to correct your defense on the backside here now that they're getting burned by the attack?
So in that case, I would say, 2 things. Number 1, head on a swivel, right? We saw Krikorian on the back door there, came up with that one of those first goals as he made a great cut to just sit on the backside, and Desmond was really in a tough spot. So you need to watch those backdoor cuts. Number 2, be ready to come hard with a slide, right? Be physical with it. Be ready to double team and help out your fellow defenders. Those are 2 keys that they're really going to have to think about to try to set this Cardinals offense astray.
Yeah. I'll be looking for that second slide then into the middle.
Sure.
And seeing that Desmond is normally a really good communicator out there. It's hard to hear him with the headset on, but I know Matt Howe, who coaches him, is going to be after him to be barking out some commands here.
And Desmond came up with a few solid saves there in that first quarter as Murphy gets control of the faceoff again. He's chased down this time by Joe Michael.
Good pursuit.
They extend out their defense. They're going to see if he can handle the ball, and they get the ball on the ground, but there quickly is Dumont for the ground ball. And the Cardinals will settle. They have their offensive team on the field. Michael Kiley, flanked by McGovern, who gets to his right hand, feeds it behind. Krikorian back up top to Heitmiller. Now Kiley.
No slide.
Kiley's shot. No go as Desmond makes the save on the low shot. Gets it to Kerr. Kerr checked. Still keeps the ball. He gets it near side to Ashburner.
They have an opening.
There it was. Can't quite get it to go. Luke and Tony can't get the loose ball at midfield. And Dylan Stewart. No, I'm sorry. That wasn't Dylan Stewart. That was 18. Nick Dahl came away with that ground ball. Wayward pass goes right into Nick Hadley's stick. He fires it up, finds Luke and Tony. Bounce pass. Not sure if that's what he intended. But they will settle and wait for their offensive firepower. Maniello takes too much time. They did not step it into the box, or no, they're going to take a timeout. Looks like we have a timeout. So Bedford takes a timeout. It was close, as I didn't think they stepped it into the box to reset the timing, and I think Coach Joe Hansmeyer realized that.
Yeah, so, on this last clear, before Bedford got the ball back, the mental part of the game needs to get better for Bedford. The ball goes through the midfield on a bad pass, and it dribbles down inside the box. And instead of our attack being right on that, BG's defense is right there to get the scoop and an easy ground ball. You got to be a part of the game. All 10 players have got to be in sync, and could be, because of inexperience, but they've got to get dialed in. Every single person out there has got to be a part of this this game at all times.
As a coach, you would tell your players, hey, don't have the best seat in the house. Get in the game. Get in the action.
Exactly.
Make a play. If it's an aggressive mistake, that's okay. At least you're making an aggressive play. So the ball will restart near side, 35-yard line. Bulldogs will have the ball, trailing 4-1. 10:35 to play in the half. Will Kramer picks it up. He's guarded there by Michael Kiley. Up top to Magnus Steele. He's guarded by Nathan Kane, now behind. Lucantoni protects, gets the top side with his left hand. He had it, but he can't quite get it past Dylan Stewart, who makes the save. Up quickly to Michael Kiley, makes a few dodges in the midfield. They ride hard, but can't slow him down enough. He steps it into the offensive box, has numbers. Settles it back down, gets it to Chris Heitmiller up at the top. They substitute through the midfield line. So a couple interesting things I'm noticing here by the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. They really use that midfield line to make their substitutions, trying to keep their advantage with the shorties. As a shot here by Krikorian, gives him 3 on the day. He has a hat trick, and they spread it out to a 5-1 lead.
So just as we were talking about the attack being involved with the game from behind and down low, they move things around. They put Krikorian back out at the top of the crease, and they bring a midfielder down into the slot, and he makes an assist to an attackman. So, again, they're just so smart the way they play.
Popped off the crease, had time and space, and that's a tough one to catch up to as it goes right top center. And it is 5-1. We go back to the face-off X. What would you do to slow down Murphy at the face-off X?
I'd put Will Unners out there. I'd put Will out there and find a way to get on Murphy's hands because he's so quick, and expect that you're probably going to lose it.
Yep. So Will Unners, the long stick midfielder, senior. Yeah, I might have him just stand right up and start hacking away. Try to keep that ball in a 50-50 situation. We do have a push from behind with possession.
Yeah, I think this is a 1 minute, Corey.
Is it?
I think so. I think I showed Bill Ball putting up one finger, and I think he's calling unnecessary.
Cross check, maybe?
Yeah, he didn't do this. He didn't do the.
Yikes! That looked like a push from behind with possession, but they do call a penalty on the Bulldogs. Not
Joe
quite
Michael,
sure
I think.
how much time it will be, but his first extra man opportunity for the Guertin Cardinals. Shot here goes wide by Heitmiller as he came around for the righty crank.
Yeah, that is Joe Michael in the box.
Back out top, Heitmiller. Near side now to McGovern. Back to Heitmiller. They find inside Cutter, and the goal is good by Michael Kiley. Just a simple cut from top side of the crease. Gets a little time and space away from that crease defender, and cashes low left against Desmond. It is 6-1.
Yeah, their EMO has always been strong. That came from a different point on the field. They usually like to expose the goalie's right-hand side and leave a wing open. That's usually Dawson Clark, but different approach there from the other side. I'm sure Coach Cameron knew that Coach Johansmeyer was going to be watching film on that EMO to try and figure that out.
Roberto gets the ball in a loose ball situation. Still scrapping around for it.
Timeout.
And a timeout is called by Coach Cameron as he saw his midfielder, Nathan Kane, come up with possession and wanted to retain that possession, so calls that quick timeout. So, again, sophisticated offense. We saw the EMO, extra man offense, as it's referred to in lacrosse terminology as an EMO. Quick ball movement. Those stick skills make it really tough for the defense to catch up to it. and they cashed on that opportunity as Michael Kiley cut high off the crease, turned and fired low left, and beat Desmond to push the lead to 6-1.
Yeah, almost a carbon copy of last Tuesday's game. Bedford got into the box on a cross check and in the second quarter, and gave up a goal on the EMO. They've got to stay out of the box.
We're also seeing that effective offense generated from X, meaning directly behind the cage, as the midfielders frequently are moving it down to the wing attackman. They're finding the quarterback, if you will, of the Bishop Guertin offense behind, who is frequently John Krikorian. He's looking for cutters to come off the crease, to come from high side from the midfielders, and finding those offensive opportunities.
Yeah, for the longest time since I've been watching Coach Cameron coach this team, they had noticeable sets. You could see them go into 2-2 and dodge from the alleys and then roll off the crease and things like that. This team is doing nothing like that. They are all freelance. It's almost like a Division I men's lacrosse team, and they just know where to be all the time. And that's going to be a slash.
A slash, or no, he's offsides, so they're going to tell Greer to go over and play.
Yep.
As he took a step over with possession, so that offsides will be another penalty on the Bulldogs. Kiley up top now. Tim Kiley, that is. Gets it over to Connor Gabord. Now behind to Bouvier. Gets to his left. Up top to Gabord. He'll crank righty.
Nice save.
Save there by Desmond, but there was a yellow hanky down, so the Cardinals will go back on an extra man opportunity on that offsides by Greer.
Yep.
So Kuliza comes in on the attack side. Can't fault Greer too much on that. He's hustling hard, trying to get after the clearing midfielder for the Cardinals. But that step over the 50-yard line put him offside. So 30 seconds in this case. Look to see that quick passing.
So this is their normal EMO set. So watch this side of the field, number 6.
That's Clark.
And then watch Krikorian come up sneak.
McGovern. Back to Clark. McGovern backside. Now it is up off of the edge there. And again, Krikorian came from the backside, caught and finished lefty as he snuck from the far side crease. Again, it's just getting that defense to move, get out of position. You're a man down, so it's tough to guard. You can't guard everybody. You have to move your feet quickly and recover. And the Bulldogs did not recover in time. The lead is pushed out 7-1.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And, I mean, from us up here, having played this and knowing the rotations we need to do on defense, you can see things just about to cook in the end result.
You know, they worked a wheel there for a few minutes on the near side, as you were mentioning, but then popped it backside. And just, again, we're getting people out of position. You draw one and you dump, meaning you draw a defender, you move it around because there's somebody open all the time on that extra man offense. Some substitutions through the box. Michael Kiley goes strong. Dishes it back up top to McGovern. Loose ball near the midfielder.
That's a hold.
Kerr battling for that. We're going to get a push by the Bulldogs. So the Cardinals will get possession back. 7:26 left here in the first half. It's 7-1. The Cardinals lead the Bulldogs. McGovern looked like they did a little bit of a hidden ball there as Krikorian came around. Now McGovern up top. Michael Kiley gets to his right hand. He'll push it behind. That's that play, getting it behind, back up top. And Dumont is there for the finish on a feed from behind by Krikorian. That's just too quick, right? They're getting it behind. They get it offside, and they look for cutters from the top. And Dumont makes his cut at the exact right time and is able to finish on a quick stick on the doorstep.
You know, not that goal there had any real problems on the defense other than they just kind of lost sight of him. My goodness, you know, they're just like you said, they're just too fast.
Speed and stick skills right there. That's the difference. Murphy's rake and pull goes down to Sullivan. Sullivan rolls away, fires it cross.
The other thing, Corey, is that BG runs their midfielders both ends, and they don't waste time bringing defending midfielders out on transition. They leave them out there. They don't even bother. There are a couple of D midfielders out there. Nathan Kane, he's a dedicated defensive midfielder, but they just move fast.
College coaches love to see those two-way players, although we're getting more and more specialized in the game of lacrosse. They do love to see those two-way players, people who can make an impact on both the offensive and defensive end.
Kind of like when you and I growing up. Good shot.
Shot here, lefty by Tim Kiley, goes wide. Backed up by the Cardinals. Krikorian brings it in from the end line.
Oh, we got to square up better than that.
Gets to his right hand.
Come on, Quinn.
Finds an open time and space, but great save by Desmond. He stuffs Aiden Lorendo, who had some time and pulled the trigger.
Attack.
Now Kerr.
Let's go attack.
Kerr looks in the middle. His pass is picked off there by Nathan Kane, who you just mentioned. Gets to his left hand and fires it past Desmond. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Nathan Kane with an excellent play at the midfield, and nobody was able to stop him. He came right down the pipe, switched to his left hand, and finishes high against Desmond.
Yeah, I mean, when a defensive midfielder scores with his left hand and he's a righty, we got to start rethinking things.
Yes, to his credit, though, that was an excellent move. Got to his left, pulled the trigger, snuck it inside the crossbar, just inside, and extends the lead to 9-1. 5:34 left here in the first half.
Yeah, kudos to him. Don't take anything away from Nathan Kane. That was a great play.
So the viewers down in Nashua joining us here on ETV have been treated to a phenomenal first half by the Cardinals, as we see a swim move there by Michael Kiley.
Check the backside.
Head on a swivel. Enters. Well, and that ball gets checked away by Henryshawn. Good job inside on that feed to the crease. Up quick to Maniello near the substitution box. He gets checked and the ball comes down on the ground. Wilkie comes away with it. Hustle there by the attack to ride that clear. Well, and they had on the backside Aiden Lorendo. Now top side. McGovern gets to his right. Backdoor again. And Krikorian sneaks back around the crease. And we do have the goal. Thought they were going to wipe it out for some reason, maybe a foot in the crease. That does not happen. Krikorian has his 5th goal of the game. And Coach Joe Hansmeyer will take a timeout here as it's 10-1. And it looks kind of bleak here in the first half.
Now, this is exactly what's happened with BG in the last 4 games. They had in the second quarter Tuesday night, they had a string of 6 goals in that quarter. They did it. They had a string of 8 goals against Exeter the week before, and a couple strings of 3 and another string of 4. So this is what happens in lacrosse quite often, and the momentum shifts and they get a run going, and it's hard to stop that train. But this was a smart timeout.
Yeah, 6-goal outburst here by the Cardinals, as it was 4-1 not 2 or 3 minutes ago. And the Cardinals have pushed it out to a 10-goal lead. Quick scoring summary for everybody at home. John Krikorian leads the way, 5 goals for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, 2 goals by Brady Dumont, and 1 each by Kane, Michael Kiley, and Declan Wilkie. The lone scorer for the Bulldogs is Max Maniello. And that 9-goal deficit is going to be tough to battle back from.
Indeed. Long possessions by the Bulldog offense. Try to keep it out of a green uniform's hands. And, try and salvage a couple of good shots out of those sets and not lose possession.
Yeah, right. And the defensemen, it's not like you can press out on these guys too much, right? They're quick, they're skilled, they protect the stick extremely well, as we see Murphy come away with another face-off win. And if you extend your defense, put a little bit of the pressure on, guess what? Somebody's going to be open back door like we've seen Krikorian twice.
Exactly. Exactly. What do you think about going to zone?
I can't believe you asked me that as a defender.
I did it on purpose.
Oh.
I did it on purpose.
I despise a zone defense
No, you do.
as a defenseman.
There it is
As
again.
Krikorian looking for his 6, looks to dive and wrap. It won't go. You know, you have to slide earlier. You have to keep your head on a swivel and be ready for those cuts. And,
Yeah.
Try maybe a couple of different defenders.
But at least if they went zone, they'd make BG change their offense. Try to
True.
look for more outside shooting if they ran a nice tight 3-3.
And Desmond has come up with some good saves from outside shots. So, it's possible.
Yeah.
It might make a difference here.
Sometimes you just need to switch something up just to throw a wrench into it.
Sure, yeah. Maybe you go into a zone for 2 sets and then you bounce back to your man-to-man.
Yeah.
So, again, not a bad option if you're looking for some answers. That pass by Kylie goes out of bounds, so the Bulldogs get fortunate there. Will Kramer here on the clear avoids one riding attackman. Now he puts his head down and shoulder down, gets by.
That's a cross check.
That did look like a cross check, but they do get away with it. No call.
He's out of
Push
bounds.
and
Lucky.
tiptoed the sideline.
Wow.
Was able to get it to Max Maniello. So
Wow.
good strength by the wiry Kramer. And he gets it to Maniello. They step it in. Greer now from behind. Greer gets to his left, feeds the cutting steal, and
Nice.
he finishes.
Beautiful.
That was a pretty play right there.
Beautiful.
Greer fiddles and diddles behind, gets back to his strong left hand and found a cutting Magnus steal for his first goal of the game. 3:14 left, and the Bulldogs tally one.
Yeah, and that's what that offense needs. They need some energy out there. And Greer scored a goal, the first goal of the game the other night, and he disappeared for the rest of the game. And if he can continue to do that and pump up his guys, that was good lacrosse right there.
We talked about that quickness and change of pace that we saw a little pep in Greer's step right there, and that sets the defense on edge. And you can find those cutters a lot easier.
No possession yet.
Loose
There
ball.
it is. Oh, and they give it away.
Turned it right over. Schmidt came up with it. Little swim move there, and they're going to get called for a foul. Probably a push with possession. I don't know. That looked like a cheap foul call.
I think so too. Joe Michael was going for the ball. The guy had his stick in front of him.
What do you have, a slash?
I think it's a slash. But
okay.
Joey was playing hard and
cut from the middle, and Murphy.
And another flag.
The Fogo is going to tally. And we have another flag. I didn't see what happened there, but I can imagine there might have been a late hit. Maybe another slash. And things are starting to fall apart here for the Bulldogs with some penalties piling up.
So they're gonna consult here. And if you're right, we're getting the call. Let's see if we can watch what they signal here.
So the Bulldogs are a bit stunned as they were able to score to bring it to 10-2, but now they get a foul called. So there is a flag. We'll have a penalty, and the goal will count.
Trip.
Look like a trip for 1 minute, perhaps. And I can't quite tell if anybody's in the box. Looks like Maniello is in the box. But I thought Joe Michael was over there.
Yeah, me too.
And getting flagged for that, but Beaton is in the box.
You might have been right. It might have been a push, and that got waved with the goal, and the trip was down here for the second flag. We didn't see it.
So man down, face off. Murphy wins it, gets it out to his line mate, Michael Kiley, and calls a quick timeout with possession. So 2:39 left. We will have an extra man opportunity for the Cardinals, and they will look to extend the lead to 10 goals. So like you said, coming into the broadcast, there's been some mental mistakes. There's been some sloppy play in the midfield by the Bulldogs, and this Bishop Guertin Cardinals team has been able to capitalize quickly and almost every single time.
Yeah, and this hasn't been just Bedford. I've seen them play Exeter. I've seen them play Pinkerton. I've seen them play Londonderry. All those games I was at, and it's the same theme game after game. And those are the top 4 teams in Division I right now. And I just don't see any weaknesses in that team. Their first 10 are phenomenal. Their next 2 lines of midfielders are very, very skilled. Their next line of attackmen with Brady Dumont, for example, who's filling in for Dawson Clark. They just make things happen, and they're just so well coached and so disciplined.
2 goals on the night for Brady Dumont in that substitution with the starting starting attack. We haven't seen Dylan Stewart tested too much. He's let in just the 2 goals, but they really haven't had too many other shots on cage that have really tested Stewart. I can imagine that he brings that same excellence that we see from the rest of the lineup.
Yeah, he split time in goal on Tuesday night with Matt Piker, and he did pretty good.
Height Miller up top, takes the crank, a little wide left. Backed up behind by Dawson Clark, who is on the field for that extra man opportunity. Clark now looks. Height Miller, far side, Bouvier.
Watch this side.
Quick movement, moving that ball around, trying to get the defense to move their feet. Crank from the left side, and Desmond comes up with a save. Low right, didn't quite bounce out of his reach, so
good clear.
Bulldogs get it. They find Enners at the midfield. He's chased there, rolls away from pressure, looking for some help.
We're still a man down here. We don't want to lose it.
Move it, get those feet moving.
Get to the X.
He is hacked on.
Jeez.
Still doing well to keep it in his stick. And that's got to be at least 10 seconds, but we do get an illegal check here.
I don't know what that ref was waiting for there.
As
holy
Enners
moly.
Finally gets a hold. It looked like it was up and around his head, but it's just going to be a hold. And with 1:33 left here in the first half, the Bulldogs will go on their first extra man opportunity.
Yeah, what did you – I mean, I saw at least 2 holds.
Maybe a hold. I thought they might call a slash there, but
yeah,
again, they're letting them play. As a defenseman, I don't mind if you let some physical play go, but Enners certainly did well to keep that ball in his stick despite getting hacked a few times and finally got the call.
He did.
So Maniello steps it in. We need some urgency here out of the Bulldogs.
Just look at the difference in the way the 2 teams run their EMO. There's no movement.
There's a 30-second penalty, and we've held the ball for 12 to 15 seconds of it already.
And they play with it out back.
Greer now takes a shot. Very easy save by Stewart, and he gets it up to Sullivan.
And he will shoot.
He stumbles there.
Oh.
Tripped over the line, unfortunately. Yep. Kerr gets that ground ball.
Roll back.
Up and out. Maniello is open at the midfield, but that penalty is released, so we're going to have 6-on-6 to close out the last 40 seconds or so of the half. Toscano steps it in. Maniello is going to trot off. It looks like he's laboring a little bit. Might have rolled an ankle or tweaked a knee or something, but he did not look comfortable as he came off to the side. Kramer gets it in his possession. 25 to go here. Kramer looks to go on the long stick. Pops it behind. Schmidt. Rolls back to the inside. Good defense there.
Like that.
I do like that. And they're pushed way out away as Toscano looks to go. Gets to his right. Gets a shot off.
Hit a body.
Saved in front. Hit somebody?
Yeah, hit a body.
Okay. So we're going to end the first half here, an 11-2 lead by the Cardinals as they jumped out to a quick early lead and then had a 6-goal run there to push them out to an 8-goal lead, 10-2, and finally pop another one in, and they'll carry a 9-goal lead into halftime. We'll take a quick break. Again, it's Corey Munster-Tiger here with Roger Howe with BCTV and our viewers in Nashua joining us on ETV. We will have second half action for you as we get back in just about 10 minutes. So great to have you rejoin us here. We're getting ready for second half action. Quick recap on the scoring. Again, this is the Bedford High School Bulldogs taking on the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. First half scoring for the Cardinals. John Krikorian, as we mentioned, leading the way with 5 goals. 2 goals by Brady Dumont. James Murphy with 1, the face-off specialist. Nathan Kane won there late in the half. And Kylie and Wilkie have both scored. That is Michael Kylie, not Tim Kylie. And Wilkie have scored for the Cardinals. On the Bulldogs side, Max Maniello started the scoring, and Magnus Steele got the second. And we do see an 11-2 halftime lead for the Cardinals. Roger, keys to the second half for you?
Well, as that half ended, I showed you the line card from last Tuesday's game, and it was nearly identical. The sequence of the goals, the runs that BG put into play, and the penalties. it was uncanny how close it was to the other game. But keys to the game, it has to be possession. It just has to be possession. You got to keep it out of the other guy's stick. And if it means running an offensive set for 5 minutes, then they need to do that, because that's the only way they're going to be able to stop BG from scoring runs. It's going to be hard to stop them from scoring, period.
Sure.
But you need to stop the runs, and that's only going to happen with the ball in their stick.
Certainly on those extra man opportunities too. The Cardinals were able to cash in on just about every single one of those. Their quick stick skills around the outside, movement within that extra man opportunity have presented some great chances for the Cardinals to extend their lead. So Stay out of the box, keep those mental errors to a minimum, and see what you can do to chew into this lead of 9 goals.
Yeah. So we wanted to just recap Division I games here real quick while we have a few seconds. Concord falls to Exeter 15-5 tonight. Oyster River comes out to Dover and beats them 10-5. That's a Division II team playing a Division I team. Londonderry takes care of Nashua North 19-2. And Pinkerton, no big thing here, 18-4 over South, which South is considered to be in that next group of 5, 6, 7 in the standings that could make a run, but not if they're going to give up double digits to Pinkerton.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So thank you for the score recap.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for second half action as both teams are taking the field. They've come out from their huddles. They're ready for the face-off here at midfield. And we'll bring you the second half here on BCTV and streaming to our Nashua partners with ETV. Roberto again steps in for the face-off for the Bulldogs, as does James Murphy. Murphy, again, who has been dominant most of the night, comes away with this one.
Yeah, he's up 14-1 on face-offs.
Not a bad percentage.
That'll make 15. Like I said, Sullivan will shoot here.
Yep. Sullivan looks to dump it, but his pass is too low. Looks to come away with that ground ball. It was at the feet of Joe Michael, but he couldn't corral it. Now Kerr chasing Dumont.
Corey, what do you think Coach Cameron tells his boys in a game like this at halftime?
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. You're ahead by 9 goals. Let's keep looking for those great opportunities as that feed from behind goes high. And I'm not sure what that whistle was.
Yeah,
maybe in the crease. He's pointing to the ground, so I'm guessing in the crease.
Yeah, that BG defender had his stick right on it and would have prevented that over and back.
Sure did. Instead, McGee will pick it up.
Yeah, I just wonder if he doesn't treat his guys like Bill Belichick does and find the negatives out there and highlights the negatives, because there's so much positive about the Bishop Guertin team.
Right.
I'm sure he's aware enough that he can do that.
Sure. I mean, you're constantly looking for your team to do even better than they have. So, you come into a game, especially in the second half, you're probably going to have your starters play for the first half of the third quarter and then start running your bench. You want them to pay attention to the little things.
Exactly. Yeah, the one thing that BG did not or was not able to do this year was play out of state. They usually play 4 or 5 games. There we go.
Outside. So it did rattle the net there. Maniello's shot on his righty drive, but it was outside of the net.
Oh,
Big hit there by Magnus Steele, and he'll go to the box
yeah,
and feel shame. A little too physical, a little too
a
high.
little too high, yeah.
And although it was solid body contact, it was too high. And Steele will go to the box. Likely a minute penalty.
Yeah, unnecessary roughness.
And it
And
is
locked.
locked in, yeah. So it might be a 2-minute penalty for a high hit, unnecessary roughness on Magnus Steele, but that might be a little bit of a spark that the Bulldogs need. You obviously want everybody to stay healthy and get through the game and without injury, but that kind of play can sometimes spark a team to get a little bit more energy and enthusiasm.
Yeah, the only problem I have with that is that it's a locked penalty. You can't give these guys just unlimited shots on the net.
Sure, behind now. Far side. Back up top to McGovern. Quickly now, they cycle it. Michael Kiley to McGovern. Bouvier drops the ball. Far side, they had the sneak, didn't go. Defended well.
Good talk by Desmond.
Back up top. Very patient offense.
He's
Extra
wide
man
open on the
opportunity.
backside.
Exactly. He was ready for that lefty crank was Bouvier. McGovern steps in. Quickly now far side. They dump it behind to Krikorian. Bouvier now up top. McGovern. Backside had the sneak. Chose not to pass. Michael Kiley now far side. Dawson Clark.
Interesting man up.
Yeah, being patient.
Yeah, not
They
even
find
a
the
shot
sneak,
yet.
and Desmond does a great job to step into that as they were looking for Krikorian on his third sneak of the evening. And Desmond stepped out into the passing lane. Long pass now, too high. Does provide some relief for now, but these Cardinal defensemen
You
are
could ill
good
afford to
enough.
do that.
Yeah,
Corey.
they're good enough to get that ball right back into the offensive end. So that Gilman, as we call it in lacrosse, named for a school in the Baltimore area where they just chuck it down the end of the field. That's not going to work here tonight.
Yeah, that he may have thought he was doing the right thing there, but
Saved by Desmond on a crank
again,
by Dawson Clark. And the second shot goes wide. Backed up nicely there by Krikorian. Over to Clark, and he stings the top right corner.
that's that play.
Desmond's in tough shape, right? So Krikorian draws a defender, gets it to Clark. Clark takes a righty crank, and it looks like to me Desmond had taken a shot off the face or neck area, and he's down.
Yeah,
That was a tough one there for a tough little sequence there for Matt Desmond.
that shot was so fast I didn't even see if it hit him or not. Just saw the net.
Yeah, that was on the shot beforehand, though. That was not on the goal
Okay.
by Dawson Clark. Desmond was rattled before that and tried to make his best effort on the goal there by Clark, but was discombobulated there a bit as he looked like he took a shot up high. Looked like it might have rattled off the throat guard or somewhere up in his upper chest area.
Mm.
So Clark stings that right-hand corner on the riser and pushes the lead out to 12-2.
Yeah, that's just one of those things. You look out there and you see them just doing their thing on the man up. Surprised that they only got one shot on that sequence.
I'm guessing they were taking that extreme patient approach to it, right? Working
Yeah.
the ball around, killing a little clock off. You know, they're up by 10 goals now, so
Yep.
there's a fine balance between beating a team and embarrassing a team, and I think Coach Cameron has that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, he wants everybody to come away with this healthy. He wants people to get their reps in on the offensive and defensive side, but you don't need to rack in 4 or 5 goals in that man-up type situation. It looks like Desmond is up on his feet.
He has to leave the field now. He can come back in the game, but rules are when you go down and the stoppage in play occurs, you got to come out.
And he is coming off rather slowly. Sophomore Gabriel Tompkinson will step in. see what he can do to slow down this high-powered Cardinal offense.
Let's take a minute here and just give a shout out to Luke Barreto, a Bedford Bulldogs lacrosse alumni. He is watching the broadcast tonight way out in New Mexico. Luke he was an outstanding attackman for the Bulldogs, graduated in 2019. And it's nice to get feedback from people when they know that they're watching your broadcast, even if it's not right down the street.
Fantastic. Great to have you join us tonight. People all over the continent. I know some viewers from Arizona, probably some from upstate New York, and all across the eastern seaboard as we have families and friends tuning into the broadcast this evening. We appreciate you joining us.
Good stuff.
BCTV and on Corey Parker's YouTube channel. So Tompkinson does get a chance to warm up here a little bit. He is in his defensive half, taking some shots from the assistant coach, Matthew Howe, I believe.
Yeah.
Getting him seeing some rubber before they actually face off again. He's allowed to have a warm-up similar to a Major League Baseball pitcher. See a couple shots, and now he's ready for action to resume. We'll go back to the face-off X as Roberto will come in against Murphy again.
So I guess the penalty had expired there on that goal.
Even up face-off, Murphy comes away with it. As you mentioned, penalty has expired, so we'll see 6-on-6 action here. Near side, they find Alex Dumont, long stick midfielder, the freshman. Looks like they're starting to filter in some of their substitutes.
Yeah, this is generally his tradition. He gets up 10 goals. He'll bring in the subs, but he never takes his entire starting lineup out. He always leaves, the second and third bench in there with starters to just simply get better.
So Brady Burke came there on the slide to Jizokis. They are able to get the ball on the ground. A little off ride here by the Cardinals, as they've done all night. Pass to the box is too high. Magnus Steele is there for the backup. Convenient positioning for Steele. He comes all the way to the cage, and he'll score his second of the night as he beats the goalie high side. Looks like Michael McDonough, who has checked in cage for the Cardinals. And Steele, again, came up with that loose ball right there near the substitution box, what looked like a wayward pass, and went unabated right to the Cardinal goal.
Yeah, and Max Maniello tried to get that on the skip, and it went by him, and I thought it was going out of bounds. But lo and behold, Magnus comes out of the box, and he's right there to save it. And, he raced his defender to the box. He outran him.
Great positioning. I wonder if that was a crafty play, as I didn't see if it was offsides or an illegal substitution on the backside, but that might have been a little trick to play. No, I was coming in.
Yeah.
Nathan Kane into the offensive box. Checked there by Hadley.
Yeah, we saw that happen in the Derryfield Portsmouth game last weekend. The legal substitution of a player coming out of the box, from the midfield line was overlooked, and they called a goal back. But
Kiley behind to Kokorian. Gets it far side. Skip pass, near side to Michael Kiley. Gets back to his right. Cranks and beats Tompkinson high side. Roll back to the strong hand by Michael Kiley. And he got time and space and beat Tompkinson top right. Although he's a lefty goalie, he still beat him to that near side.
Yeah, that's a big league shot right there by Kiley. Kiley's going to Colgate. Probably won't see time right off his freshman year, but who knows? Ben Abladian, who ended up getting into the Bryant starting lineup. You never know what's going to happen.
So Kiley's second of the game pushes that lead out to 13-4. I think the score is wrong on the the scoreboard here. I think that goal was credited to the wrong team. I think it's 13-3.
Yeah, it's 13-3.
My teammate in the box here is killing me on the scoreboard. Steve, you're killing me, man. I'm just kidding.
Steve's had a long day.
Gabord back to his left hand, and he'll score. Gabord drove righty, got around his defender, redodged, went back to his left hand, and scores on the bouncer. And Tompkinson has seen 2 shots and 2 goals.
Yeah, Gabord's one of those guys that comes off the bench like Brady Dumont, and he just does his thing, and it's like, next man up. They keep coming.
They sure do. And this is a tough position for Tompkinson to step in as the starting goalie, Matt Desmond, got rattled by a shot. We hope that his health is okay at the finish of this game, but tough spot for Tompkinson to come in as a substitute goalie.
They call timeout there?
Oh, no, it's a push from behind. No possession, so they do give it to the Cardinals. So they will pick it up, far sideline, right in front of their bench. Quickly into the box is Tim Kiley. Gets it back to Gabord. Near side now to Bouvier. Splits to his right, gets back to his favored left. Gabord now looks to go. Has a one-on-one with McGee. Good squared up defense by McGee. Now Michael looks to defend Bouvier. Rips lefty, and he scores. Far side low as he got high side to his favored left, and Bouvier has his first goal of the game, 15-3.
Yeah, like you just said, not bad defense by the 2 short stick midfielders there. Michael had him pegged and squared, and Bouvier just let one loose. I don't know if Tompkinson even saw that, but
that's tough to see. There was some traffic in front.
Yeah.
Perhaps he got screened out. Michael probably needs to force that player back to his weak hand, right?
Yeah,
That's Bouvier's favored left. So he's able to get some time and space and pull the trigger.
True.
And now a drive here by Zach Kuchalakos. And he scores. So several quick goals here, and I don't know what the run was. Do you have that down there, Roger?
It's 4 straight this quarter. They started off the quarter with 1, and then Bedford got 1 from Magnus Steele. But now they're on a 4-goal run here.
16-3.
Second 4-goal run of the game, by the way. They started off the game with a 4-goal run. But now, now the bench is coming out, okay? And we've got a tired defense out there. And they got just more numbers.
And Mitchell Lynch comes away with that face-off into the offensive box. Enters, looks to get that ball loose. Can't quite get it done, but Kerr comes in with a help check. Brady Burke, near side, pass is too high for Kerr, and that will go out of bounds.
That's just fatigue, Corey.
Fatigue, and, unfortunately not taking care of that ball once you get in your stick. Kerr now. Good help defense. Michael comes across and helps. And they get the ball on the ground. So that's the physical play that you need and the help defense that's needed in order to prevent these Cardinal offensive players from getting easy looks. Luke and Tony looks backside. His pass was deflected, I believe.
I hope it was.
Wow, that was not deflected.
That was not a good pass.
I tell you, Greer was open for
He
split
was.
second on that backside near the doorstep. And it wasn't a bad look by Luke and Tony, but that was quite wayward of a pass.
So Bill Ball is calling over Bill Landry.
I thought it was tipped, honestly.
He's saying it was tipped.
There might be a correction here.
Yeah. Well, Bill Ball had the sight line,
Yeah.
even though he was the back official there. But again, this hit down here on the other end on the defensive side, good non-call.
Totally
Landry
agree.
was grabbing his flag, and he looked across to Bill Ball, the senior official, and it was clearly a good hit.
Yeah, I appreciate that. They let him play a little bit, and I
Yeah.
appreciate the correction in this case too, as My eyes told me it was tipped, and apparently the referees agreed with it. 3:15 left here. Cardinals have extended it out to a 16-3 lead. The Bulldogs are finally back in the offensive end.
Nice pick. There we go. Keep
Little
it
action
going.
up top. Maniello down behind. Lucantoni looks to back in. Gets to his left.
Big heavy wood.
High side. Good checks in there and help defense by the Cardinals, and the ball comes out. Near side, McDonough. The goalie who has checked in for the Cardinals works with his defenseman. They get it up right at midfield.
Good swarm.
They're swarming there, and they're going to draw a foul. Probably a cross check or a hold. Can't quite see it from this side.
Slash.
Okay, so we're going to have a 1 minute slash. And the Cardinals go back on the extra man opportunity.
There were a lot of bodies over there, Corey, so I didn't get a number. We'll see who ends up taking a knee, but
Looks like Maniello is over there near the box. You know, can't fault these guys for hustling, trying to get after it, trying to get that ball on the ground. Krikorian. Bouvier now back up top.
so BG's
Heitmiller.
first team EMO back out there now.
Moving the ball, looking the cycle backside. Didn't like it. Krikorian now up top. Looks like he got a shot by Heitmiller. Great save by Tompkinson coming up. Gets high and stuffs that top side. Exceptional save there by the sophomore backup. He's able to keep it at just 16.
He's got no help, though, on the ride.
No, nobody's cutting to him, but Maniello finally did. And the bounce pass finds his stick.
So they need to get it behind here. They're still man down.
They are. They don't get it behind.
He just came out. Yep, there we go.
And the penalty is released. So back to 6-on-6 action. Good kill there for the Bulldogs.
So, Corey, I think that was on Kramer. Kramer had his knee down in there, and he came out of the box on this penalty. So
Okay. Went to
get our scorecard right.
the box and felt shame for 30 seconds. Steele now stuffed. Great save there by McDonough. They chase it down, and I think that should have still been a shot.
It should have been.
And the Bulldogs will get possession here.
Yeah, it hit the goalie right in the hands. He had his positioning straight, and the shot came in hard.
Tough place to make a save. That is a solid rubber ball, and it gets going fast, especially from a junior like Magnus Steele. Strong kid. That ball pops out. Scramble in the middle. Guertin comes away with that.
Bad pass.
Up quick. Ooh,
Eeks.
they were there. Ball was on the ground. Hustle play there, right there at the end of the quarter, but we will end the third quarter with a 16-3 Bishop Guertin lead.
Wow, that's a little bit of craziness there for the last 5 minutes of that quarter. Just not the normal BG or Bedford game that we've seen here.
Sure, that little bit of sloppiness might come from those players who haven't been warmed up, right? They're coming off of the bench, getting into the game to see some of the time and move that ball around.
Yeah, that's true. You know, I mean, but BG, you can see them. Once they get those players in there, their game takes a step back just a bit. I'm checking out the far side Bedford bench, and it looks like Desmond. He has got his helmet off, his gloves off. He is talking to Eric Gelinas, the Bedford trainer. Don't know if we're going to see him back in this game.
I would suggest not, as he looked pretty rattled and walked to the sideline quite slowly after taking a shot up high. Weren't quite sure where it was, throat, upper chest area, but we wish him all the best. Hope that that's not a serious injury.
For sure. Yeah, they need him going into the two Exeter games. Bedford has a week off. Another one of those anomalies with the, in my opinion, terrible NHIAA scheduling this year. aside from COVID, I think they could have done a better job of filling in the gaps. But I guess the bright side of this is that whatever's going on with Desmond, he's got a week to recover.
Always a silver lining guy. I like that about you, Roger.
Well, you can thank my wife.
Beaton comes away with this ground ball on the face-off, gets it to Enners. Enners tracked down there by long stick midfielder Alex Dumont.
Look at this.
Enners gets the shot off and will
And-
draw a penalty. So the Bulldogs will get an opportunity on extra man. Not quite sure what the call was. Trip / hack, I'm not sure. Some penalty.
I did not see Mr. Ball make a signal. I saw him put up one finger, but not the call.
Can't quite tell what that is.
No,
But the Bulldogs will have the extra man opportunity. They set up in their 2-3-1.
yeah, Coach Cameron's not happy, so not sure what that is. But number 31's in the box for BG, Alex Dumont.
Toscano near side, gets it to Greer. Cut through. And it looks like they're trying to shut off Max Maniello. So Nathan Kane is shutting off. Luke and Tony now, ball goal line extended. It's on the ground. A lot of whacking at that ball down low. Can't come away with it.
That's
Greer
off.
looks to tap it to himself, but I think that's going to go to Bishop Guertin.
They got a break there.
Oh, no, they do call it. Near side official says
Yeah.
Bulldogs. Far side official says
Bill Ball
BG.
is. Oh. Wow, that went off Derek's leg.
That sure did. I think it might have gone off his stick, but either way, it goes to the Bulldogs, and Greer will come from behind.
Yeah. It's not
Whoa.
often that Bill Ball gets
No,
overridden.
he's actually overriding it again.
There we go.
As you mentioned, he does not get overridden here. And the Cardinals come away with it. 10 minutes to go here in the game, and they lead 16-3. Quick outlet pass up top to Matthew Cranny.
I've known Bill Ball for maybe 20 years now, going back to my youth lacrosse days and him doing the scheduling. And he's a man of intelligence, and he knows what's going on out there.
So the Cardinals step it in, and they'll look to kill off this penalty. As Tanner McLaughlin comes around the outside, he'll go for a tour of the box. He gets it down low, looks like to Jacob Karen.
Notice how BG just spreads the field out and they prevent any type of double teaming out there, which I'm not a big advocate of double teaming, but, in situations like this, in other words. But smart play.
Sure is. Similar to a four corners that we've mentioned. They spread that field out, air it out, and the penalty is now released, so we're back to 6-on-6 action. Drive righty. Now back to Kevin Broderick.
Let's look at the skill level. These are third-string guys on the bench, 47 deep, 47 players on the official BG roster. And the skill level, you can tell just by watching them play. It's amazing.
Jizokis looks to go. He gets doubled. Hadley comes off. I agree. I mean, 47 players on your roster is one thing, but skill level up and down that roster is another.
Exactly.
Wayward pass here. And Kerr will pick up the ball and bring it in from the sideline.
Look at the
Up
box.
quick to Maniello. Maniello has a player middle.
Oh,
His pass goes high and wide and will travel out of bounds despite good hustle on the backside by Schmidt.
yeah, I don't think Luke and Tony was even expecting that to come across from Maniello.
Tough pass there. I mean,
Yeah.
they did have a 4-on-3. There was an odd man going, but they weren't able to capitalize. Micah Dunsmore steps it in. Up top now to Hughes. Now far side.
There's a good defense by Joe Michael again. Just keep the push on the hips.
Ball gets dropped up top, but quickly recovered by Dunsmore. He's guarded by Beaton.
Yeah, another good defensive push.
Stepped out
Yeah.
nicely by Kerr. Anticipated that pass. Stepped into the passing lane. and comes away with the pick.
No help.
Oh, dropped the ball. Got it back really quickly.
Look at the bench.
Kerr looks to make a dodge and does, beating his back, so keeps him off sides. And now they pass it far side to Maniello. He'll rip a bit far out, and that is backed up by the defense. You'd like to see them get a little bit better offensive possession and a better shot there.
Yeah, just like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, Max takes those big 15-yard shots sometimes at an angle, and it's not always the best choice.
Up quick to their midfielder, now down to their attack as the Cardinals will set up their offense. Trotted behind.
Good check.
Good check there by Kerr. Again, coming up with some of these defensive plays.
Oh, it's going to be a flag.
It shouldn't be. That was good push there. Kerr comes up with the GB. Spins it out. Gets it to Henrishon. Up to the middle, and that pass is missed by McGee. And into the stick of Calvin Jazokis. Steps it in the box. Waits for his teammates.
Well,
up top to Broderick, and now near side to Hughes.
Halfway through this quarter, and there's no scoring. I guess you could call that somewhat of a coup, maybe.
Although you have mentioned a couple different times, these are the second and third line Cardinals players.
True.
Good defense there. And Henrishon comes up with the ground ball. So, yes, a stalemate so far in the fourth quarter, but the score is 16-3. And it'll take some work for the Bulldogs to get back and make this competitive. Maniello shoots, doesn't go. And I agree, that's a much better opportunity for Maniello as he got back in a more threatening position instead of, high and wide.
Yeah, and I like the fact that he mixed that shot up. He didn't try and blow it into the corners. He went down and tried to go 5-hole there. Piker made a good save, though.
Enters harassed up top. Caleb Young came away with it, though.
Well, they would have, yeah.
And now Ashburner puts pressure on the far side. They get near side and find backdoor. Excellent save by Tompkinson. He's come up with a couple of good ones in that substitution role, and Beaton comes away with it, legs it up the near sideline. Good for Tompkinson, making a couple of strong saves. That one there on the doorstep.
Absolutely.
Kudos to him in a tough spot. Now Luke and Tony back up top to Maniello.
Kaleza in there on attack for Schmidt. He's seen some success out there coming off the bench.
Sure has. The freshman attackman has put in a couple of goals for the Bulldogs this year. Don't have exact stats. Hopefully George Cox can give us some stats.
Good look.
I'm just kidding. It's tough. This is not a professional production, but we do appreciate the BCTV crew. They're fantastic here. Last 4 minutes of play. Steele drives hard, swim move on the double, gets free. That shot gets eaten in the middle. Loose ball still on the near side. Good job by Steele to get on it. Loose ball push, and the Bulldogs will get possession.
Yeah, I certainly would like to see them pop something up here as we, wind down this game. Come away with a couple goals.
Maniello looks far sideline. Back to Will Kramer. Kramer goes righty. Drives hard. Shot. Ooh, just past that left side.
Good shot. Choice selection there.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Looking to go offside on the goalie, the lefty goalie. As Piker is in the cage for Stewart. Greer runs away from pressure. Gets it to Maniello. He's matched up with a pole. Goes to the inside roll. Quick double team there. Nice defense.
Look what that defender is.
Well, yeah, Jack Casey. I mean, he was helping. But on the backside, he had Kuliza if he was able to get that pass across.
Yeah.
Tough spot, though. Kramer, righty.
They tried again.
Did try again. That won't go. I'm not sure if the goalie got a piece or if the pipe came up huge on that save, but It did not go out of bounds. Loose ball here. And Luke and Tony looks, yeah, he will get possession. 2 minutes to go now. Luke and Tony double, tripled. Runs through a couple of checks. Looks to feed the middle, but that pass gets tipped. Kuliza comes away with the rebound, the loose ball. Inside, stuffed up high. Great save by Piker. Kuliza had the step there, was able to get the inside body position, protected the stick well.
That's what I like about him. He's got body, and he knows how to bull himself around that goal line extended and get inside. He'll get better as time goes on, obviously.
Yeah, and frequently those inside one-on-one with the goalie type situations end up in a high shot. And Piker anticipated that, made the stuff. Steal now. Dishes. Finds Luke and Tony. He's pushed from behind, so that will go back to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Piker, he doesn't see a lot of time, but he is fundamentally, his positioning is very good. He moves on the arc very good where ball position is.
Looks like a big boy, too. He's taking up a lot of that space in the cage.
Yeah, I believe he's a very good football player, too.
Greer rolls away from pressure. Just under a minute to go here. Cutter Toscano. Greer back to the left side. Doesn't pull the trigger. Nice cut there by Kuliza, and his low shot is stuffed. Again, he's getting that position, just can't finish those one-on-ones. Loose ball pushed by the Cardinals will put it back in the Bulldogs' hand.
So we're running time here.
We've been running time for a little bit.
Yep.
Out to the side. Kuliza now, 20 seconds to go. Maniello, 10 seconds to go, gets back to his right hand, steps high, gets a shot, and he'll sting the corner. And Maniello gets his second of the game. And that'll just about do it as running time ticks off. The Bishop Guertin Cardinals come into Bedford and put a 16-4 hurting on the Bulldogs. And as we talked about at the start of the show, the second meeting between two teams, a lot of times in New Hampshire lacrosse this season has yielded a more competitive game, and in this case it was not, as the Cardinals come away with the victory. Quick scoring rundown for the Cardinals. John Krikorian led the way with 5 goals. Michael Kiley and Brady Dumont had 2 each, and then 1 goal by Bouvier, Wilkie, Clark, Kane, Kuchalakos, Murphy, Gabord will round out the scoring for the Cardinals. For the Bulldogs, it was Max Maniello with 2 and Magnus Steele with 2. And that was just not enough offensive output to battle a tough Bishop Guertin Cardinal team.
Yeah, not to take anything away from Bishop Guertin's performance tonight, but when you look at what we have traditionally seen, as you mentioned in the second meeting of teams, when it comes to Bishop Guertin, doesn't make a difference. They have let up double-digit goals only once, first game of the season against Londonderry. If you want to come away with something, positive about this, they held Pinkerton to 2 goals in that second meeting, and they also held Exeter to 6 goals in that second meeting. So, where they've been blowing teams out, the second occurrence doesn't always mean that it's going to be a close game, but especially with them.
Tough night here for the Bulldogs. The Cardinals come away with the victory. Thank you to everybody here in Bedford and around the continent. Appreciate the Nashua TV crew coming in with ETV and broadcasting this out to your viewers down in the Nashua area. Thanks again to the BC TV crew. We always appreciate their help. I'm Corey Munzer-Tiger for Roger Howe. Have a great night. We'll join you again soon.